Hello everyone, Syne here, and welcome to the conclusion of Happy Sulli-Days. Well, the new year is just around the corner, and that means that it's time to wrap up Happy Sulli-Days with an interesting holiday flick. But first, let's talk about Star Wars and Christmas. It may seem odd having them together, but they somehow managed to pull it off. With new toys for the holidays, new movies coming out each year in December, and both ironically and coincidentally, the first Star Wars film, A New Hope, was originally going to be released for Christmas of 1976, but was changed to the summer of 1977 due to production issues and being behind schedule. Yeah, that's a fact. And the one to unfortunately star it all is one of the most, if not the most infamous of Christmas specials that has nothing to do with the holiday whatsoever. The Star Wars Holiday Special. The story, or lack thereof, focuses on Chewbacca's family, his wife Mala, his dad Itchy, and his son Lumpy, getting prepared to celebrate a Wookiee holiday called Life Day, which is never given an explanation as to what it is. But the three of them are mostly waiting for Chewie to arrive, as he and Han are heading to the Wookiee planet, as the Empire not only follows them, but are also holding Chewie's family hostage as they look around for an unexplained reason. As well as form a blockade around the planet, I think, since there's hardly any space shots except for stock footage from A New Hope. And all of it tied together with segments that have little to no connection with the special. At first I pretty much had nothing to say with this monstrosity of a special, simply because it left me with nothing. It made me heartbroken, and it's kind of painful to go over. But I'll try to make the best of it. There are certainly a whole lot of problems with this special. That's already an entire problem, but I'll go over the main ones. Firstly, the effects are bad. I mean, yeah, I could give it the benefit of the doubt seeing that it's 1978 and made for TV, but the quality of them is so low that they're not worth mentioning. The idea of focusing on Chewbacca's family is already ridiculous. Even when Return of the Jedi was originally going to have a planet of Wookiees, but was changed to the forest moon of Endor to have Ewoks. Although Revenge of the Sith did get a Wookiee planet known as Kashyyyk, and sadly this would make the special canon with the Star Wars universe, since it takes place on Kashyyyk. But I don't count it. And then there's the fact that some of the special is done with their roars and growls, and sometimes it's hard to tell what's going on. Even the main cast of characters from the first film don't help. Leia looks uninterested, even when it looks like she's not, and that could be because of Carrie Fisher having to be on drugs during production of this. Luke not only seems a bit too into it, but also looks weird too. And yes, it's because Mark Hamill had an accident, but it's not all fun. C-3PO sounds uninterested despite Anthony Daniels giving his all, and Han likely doesn't care, and yet only Harrison Ford's acting is trying to make it good. But based on some of his expressions, you can tell he's not for this. And the segments, having to make almost half of the special, are pretty unfocused, have almost nothing to do with the special, and are just as boring as the rest of this. And the variety of them are just staggering. One is a holographic show of acrobats and jugglers, another is a cooking show, another is a whatever it is, turned into a music video, followed by another music video but as a hologram, then an animated short, which is the first appearance of Boba Fett, and became the starting point for the animated TV spin-off Droids. Then there's an instructional video that kind of ties into the special, but is just so boring and long, and then there's a story set in Tatooine's cantina, that again, is kind of tied into the special, but is longer than the last one and is also boring, even with a musical number from B. Arthur. And the entire special concludes with having every Wookiee coming together to celebrate Life Day in red robes. As Leia sings a Life Day song, if that's what it is. How exciting can it get? Now I have mentioned some of the cast before on my New Hope review, but there are a few others to go over too. But they don't help this special in any way. B. Arthur, or Beatrice Arthur, plays Akamina, Art Carney plays Trader Sean Dan, Harvey Korman plays Krillman, Chef Gormanda, and a Morphian instructor. Diane Carroll plays Myrmia Holographic Wow. An uncredited Don Franks voices Boba Fett. Jefferson Starship plays as themselves as holograms. And the Wookiee family are Mickey Morton as Mala, Paul Gale as Itchy, and Patty Maloney as Lumpy. As a whole, this special is very boring. The characters are uninteresting, the story, if any, is too jumbled with various segments, the songs are forgettable, and the effects are bad, low quality worthy. Directors Steve Binder and David Akamba had made a Star Wars feature that has no right to exist at all. And where people say the prequel trilogy is the worst this franchise has to offer, I'd say this one's the worst, making the prequels more entertaining. But for being infamous as part of the Star Wars universe, when really it shouldn't be, this special was worse than Attack of the Clones and the Star Wars Clone Wars movie. And it just goes to show that this would be made more for a teaching tool on how not to make a holiday special. So today, this special will be given a rating of... Oh, that's just great. Not only did my wand run out of power, but it also broke. So how am I going to end this video now?